And they had to put out a lot of extra money that they didn't want to because of an independent engineering study to come up here and do this. I didn't like it, I wasn't involved, but I was involved to a certain extent. I knew people that were in the SHIT, to put it bluntly. If you involve other government from another area or the so-called research study, or a group that comes from out a source into this canyon and starts messing with people's lives, you're gonna be in trouble.
That's not,
Your committee is your
can I
committee.
stop, hold on, because
No,
you're going,
your committee is- I
I
know.
respect what you're saying, but you're going down a rabbit hole, and I
I
just
know,
wanna
I know.
clarify before we go any deeper with that, is that that's not what at all is being suggested or proposed.
I know,
I, hold on. They were a community, this is a community effort back then, and I just thought it would be fun to do a community effort now.
Right.
So
That's
this
it,
is your
not
idea.
outsiders.
But like
You
I
never
said,
clarified
Check
that.
the
This
numbers,
is your
see
idea.
where we're at now. How many members of the
Sure.
CCIA do we have
Okay.
now?
I have no idea.
What? And why did you decide to lead this? CCIA?
I was inspired by what they had done, and I saw that they're,
What benefit did you think we would get? I'm asking because my neighbor can't be here.
what benefit did I think I can get?
Yeah, or anyone. Like, why did you want to do this, basically?
Well, I wasn't looking at my
What's your
benefits.
motivation?
My motivation?
Yeah.
Well, my motivation first was to have some fun discussions with the community and do a committee, because that's what they did, and it was fun, and it was a whole
So you
thing.
don't really want to go forward with this, like incorporate?
No, she does.
So that's a whole, I think I'm totally, at this point, I don't have enough data to say if I'm pro corporation or not. I would be pro if there was no property tax increase and the town could financially sustain itself, but those are all discussions to be had.
Oh, so this is just like a fun, like.
We don't-
Yeah, a fun research project, exactly, to see if it would benefit our community.
Seriously?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I thought I had a great time, so I learned a lot. Even if you,
We are not here to have fun.
Oh, we're not?
This is a serious discussion.
This is,
And I would
yeah,
like
What
to make
city
a
would
comment
this be
discussion.
Like,
considered?
so this is a waste of time, essentially.
the town of Coal Creek Canyon,
It would be the city.
I don't know.
Because we would need a city council, right?
yeah, you would need a
So
city
it'd be the
council.
city of Coal Creek
need
Canyon.
a-
I guess. Yeah, it's not, those are not decisions that I would make. I don't make any of those
But
decisions.
where does it go, like?
I don't know. Those are not, those are all
All your
future things that I
research
cannot
and
answer, because
somewhere.
the committee would do those answers and then provide a summary to the community, and then everyone would decide the next steps.
So it wouldn't be the city, would it be different counties?
No.
It would be like Coal Creek Canyon City, but all these different counties?
The county doesn't change just because you incorporate into your own municipality. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Hi, I waited my turn.
It would be so nice if we could just have some respect for people speaking right now. Thank you so much.
And I'm kind of soft-spoken, so I just want to make sure that people online could hear me. Can you hear me online?
Can you guys hear her online?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yes.
Okay, and I'd like to be able to ask my full question before I'm interrupted. Can I
Yeah.
agreed to the norms, so can I have that
Absolutely.
respect for myself? Is that okay with everybody?
Yes, ma'am.
It's kind of a long question. So I would like for you to explain what unincorporated Jeffco allows for cannabis establishment. Specifically, I would like it explained how the marijuana establishment prohibition ordinances as outlined in Part B of the Jeffco ordinance placed by the county commissioners, which prohibit the operation of cultivation, manufacturing, and retail stores of marijuana, and how they prevent these in unincorporated areas only. So I want to know, how does incorporation affect future plans? Because unincorporation right now is affecting that business, and when we incorporate, there will be changes. So I would like for that to be explained. If anyone's interested in hearing more about that, if that's a link to online. And I just wanted to say any type of silence or I don't know answers that we'll be able to also interpret that also.
Sure, thanks for your question. I can only do my best in answering some of that from what I know in my other realm of profession. I do know that the state constitution gives people in Colorado the rights to certain cannabis activities and possession amounts. But in the midst of all that, there's also rules and regulations that give local municipalities and other communities and counties the ability to be to do extra regulation on top of what the state already does through their state departments. So I guess your question you're asking is, how would creating a municipality affect potential businesses here in the canyon and zoning regulations? And the only answer I have for that is if we did a town charter, if we were governed by a town charter, we could create our own zoning and business regulations, which would be done with the city council and potentially by a vote, depending on how that charter was written. That is completely down the road. That's a whole nother different discussion, but it could be where things were permitted or allowed or disallowed or had to be done under certain conditions, because anyone who's a municipality or a county already has statutory authority to be more restrictive when it comes to any marijuana businesses in the state. So I hope that answers. I'm not familiar with Jeffco's
So
rules and regs.
Jeffco's county commissioner states that unincorporated Jeffco cannot have any of those businesses.
I can tell you why they did that.
Incorporating
That's that.
changes the rules.
Yeah.
You know,
For
they
cannabis.
did that because people grow in homes, residential areas.
That's a
and
constitutional
the
right.
fire hazard is so great, and they don't want those type of businesses growing with the fire hazard so great up in unincorporated areas, all throughout the front ranges like that, not just Jeffco.
This is the last thing that I'll say about it, is I would just ask you to consider, when we're making changes, why we're proposing changes and what the underlying issue is for
Well,
who
for
would
the
like to
place
make the
that's built up
changes.
there, because it's built as a residential wood structure there.
I'm talking about Jeffco, that's Boulder.
Yeah.
It was the, well, it was the way I
Well,
told you.
hold on. I don't want to be rude because this nice lady has had her hand up for a minute. Was your question, I know, ma'am, was your question done?
I think
Or did
so.
you have more?
In full transparency and at the risk of, I would like to stay for the whole meeting. I really am trying to be respectful.
No worries.
I would just like to know what connection
Sure.
there is to that in this room.
What connection to what?
Just
Can you
like
be more
if there are
specific?
any future plans as far as incorporating our town,
Uh-huh.
and if there are any related ideas with business owners who are in that portion of Jeffco.
I haven't heard or ever had any conversations to that at all. This is the first time that's ever came up. So no, there has been no discussion.
Is there anyone leading this discussion or participating in this discussion who's done that in the past or is actively doing it?
Not that I'm aware of. I only know that Eldorado Lodge situation, or Eldora.
So you've
Eldora
never
Lodge.
been involved with 420 Highways
Yes, that used to be my dispensary.
or Grow Hemp Colorado?
That's my current business, one of them. What does
Well,
that
I don't
have?
care
What
about
does
all
that
that.
have to do though
That's-
with the business? I grow my own marijuana as well because I have a
I
constitutional
don't
right
have
to do
anything
so.
against that.
My
but I'm-
restaurant has hemp tables and hemp walls. That's federally legal.
I just think
So,
this community has a
I'm
right
not
to know
qua-
what's really going on. Perhaps,
Do you
maybe
think
not
that-
just allegedly.
Yes,
I'm just
okay.
putting it out there.
I
as a
appreciate that.
possibility.
I'm happy to answer any questions. I'm not hiding anything. And so, yes, ma'am. I'm so sorry.
Okay, so my question probably has a few parts.
Yes, ma'am.
You've mentioned I several times.
Yes, ma'am.
Are there more people already involved in this, I don't know if discussion or movement? Are there more people?
I've had discussions just throughout randomly, but there's no one else involved. It would be the committee that ultimately would have like the real discussions.
Has
So,
a committee been formed?
no, ma'am.
How would a committee be formed?
Well, I was gonna suggest depending on how this meeting went at the end, if anybody did have interest in participating on the committee, to maybe send in an email, and then we could go from there, because obviously the more hands participating makes the data collection go quicker and the summary to the community go faster. So more involvement would be better. So,
And I guess my last part
Yes,
is,
ma'am.
why? Why now? Why, most people that moved up here to get away from town. And this isn't an attack on you, but there are a lot of people in here who have been in the canyon for a good period of time.
mhm.
You're relatively new,
Okay.
which can be good and bad. You don't have the history that a lot of people do, but you can also bring new ideas.
Mhm.
But why? You know, why change the entire fabric of the community and what most people have up here?
But they look for what they move up here for.
So, can I just answer that really quick?
Sure.
So I am not trying to change anything. In fact, I haven't asked anything from anybody except for to come with an open mind to a meeting. That's all I've asked. I have, to answer your question, why now, everyone would like to know, because there's a lot of mystery. Maybe some of that's my fault. But like I said, when I started going through the past documents, researching what the last committee did in 1998, I found myself on a journey. Everyone's going to be very disappointed in this answer, okay? I'm just going to tell you right now, because it's not the exciting thing.
But why?
Hold on,
did
let
you
me
start
just-
going through those documents? What was the impetus?
There's two reasons. Well, first of all, I live downtown, and it's beautiful, and I'm really thankful to be there. So I get to be probably more involved with downtown than most people, because I literally live there and I see everything going on. You know, so I kind of sometimes sit out there and envision different things, you know, just thoughts going through my head, but super grateful for how it already is. So I have no intention of like being mayor or governor or any of those things. I never even thought I would be looking into this. I had no idea what it looked like to incorporate a town. It was never even a thought in my mind. But then I do remember seeing a post on Facebook somewhere talking about an effort that had been done back in the day. I could never find that post again, and I was curious, why didn't it happen? So I asked someone here at the CCIA hall, and I said, hey, do you know about this? They said, oh yeah, the documents are in the basement. Do you want to borrow them? And I said, yes, can I please? Not that I already have enough stuff to do. So as soon as I got my hands on